The Effect of Censorship in Comedy Movies by Wendy Marine, Devin Harrison, and Rachel Foss.
Comedy has been present in films and media since the 1920s, with Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton developing the slapstick genre in the silent film era.
However, comedy has matured into a full-fledged genre, with new movies often being the focal point of political conflict or being censored or banned outright in certain parts of the world. On December 16, 2014, a North Korean group calling themselves the Guardian of Peace released the following message to Americans.
Comedy in films and media provides unique criticism that is important for a healthy and well-rounded society.
We would first like to go over some words that are used in the video that need to be defined. Censor, an official in some countries whose duty it is to inspect all books, journals, dramatic pieces, etc. before publication to secure that they shall contain nothing immoral, heretical, or offensive to the government. Criticism, a piece of writing or other review in which a text, creative work, subject, etc. is analyzed or evaluated. Society, a community of people living in a particular country or region and having shared customs, laws, or even institutions.
The earliest silent film comedies were constrained by both their lack of sound and experience. As a result, they relied on physical comedy adapted from live stage performances. Once technology advanced to include sound, so did comedy, resulting in movies like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Eventually, the genre evolved to a wide variety, like black comedies, or movies that found humor in very serious topics like war or death.
Film is one of the most popular forms of comedy, from cartoon animation to feature-length movies. Many other types of film have dealt with censorship throughout history. The medium of film is also often used to make critiques of society.
Here's a quote from Kelly Richardson. Richardson is stating that while modern animation might appear as a children's cartoon at a brief glance, a deeper analysis will show that these simple, funny cartoons are often like a funhouse mirror held up to society, critiquing the things that we take as normal.
Referencing a document on censorship called the Production Code, Nichols states this. Here, Nichols is pointing out the irony and potential projection of the Production Code. While it is a document being pushed by Christians to censor references to lewd topics or homosexuality, the wording within the document itself is astonishingly sexual in nature.
Richardson and Nichols provide interesting analysis of the effective medium on comedy, but may in many ways agree with each other. Richardson's point is that through the medium of animation, comedy can appear as a funhouse mirror held up to society. Nichols is indirectly pointing out that the things people try to censor or avoid can often be something they see within themselves. These are interesting points, not only in comedy a mirror that they refuse to gaze into, but someone's weakness or insecurities can often be revealed by what they want to censor.
There are many envelope-pushing comedy movies that have a lot of involvement with global political conflict. These movies may be surrounding current conflict during that time and may make jokes and or use criticism to create a comedy and funny environment, but in some cases have created real conflict around the world.
Here is an excerpt from the Frontier Post. This quote was talking about the movie The Interview that made fun of and made jokes about Kim Jong-un and North Korea. This created a lot of conflict and led to threats to the United States to create another horrible attack like 9/11. This movie was lighthearted and was not meant to create tension, but innately did while making lighthearted jokes about the dictator of North Korea.
Kelly Richardson wrote, "Television shows can afford to take more risks in their use of humor, especially as these shows share identities with their networks. For example, The Simpsons, King of Hill, Family Guy, and American Dad all appear on Fox, South Hill and Drawn Together on the more genre-specific Comedy Central, and Aqua Teen Hunger Force on the even more specifically defined Cartoon Network. These programming homes create certain expectations of the kind of humor one will encounter. These shows listed in the quote all have many examples of controversial script, and some of these movies and shows have been banned in the other countries due to this and created immense issues."
The two quotes discuss conflict in politics, both abroad and here at home. It is clear that comedy movies can have a large impact on society, but are meant to actually create a positive environment full of laughs and lighthearted jokes.
Art, like comedy, is typically an expression of the society that creates it. This means that trends of topics and genres in comedy often reflect the society around it. William McIntosh stated this. He points out an interesting correlation between trends of violence in comedy movies and negative trends in society. Specifically, when things are getting worse for people in a society, the comedy that society produces reflects that.
Simon Weaver states, Richard Pryor's continued articulation and redirection of the civilization-nature dichotomy creates the image of the white American existence as incomplete, thus situating his comedy in opposition to one of the central tenets of the embodied racism aimed at Black people. Although Richard Pryor was known primarily as a legend of stand-up comedy, a lot of his jokes also aimed to reverse racism, taking common racial stereotypes and reframing them in a positive way for Black people.
That is to say that comedy is both fed by and feeds into the society that creates it, making it a perfect representation of the things happening within the world at that time.
Comedy is most important as a critique of society, constructive or not. This ability to look within and evaluate our own shortcomings is invaluable to any healthy society.